What's up, and welcome back to the channel. You're listening to Ninja Night. Delighted to be here of a Friday night. It's been a couple of weeks, obviously, and I really appreciate for everybody have one of those sweets. I do, one of those ones that you have to take when you're not feeling too good. Soothes the throat, soothers, I suppose you could call it. I have one of those there at the moment, so if the speech is a bit affected tonight, that's probably why. So just letting you all know. Obviously, haven't been too well over the last couple of weeks. Man flu, know yourself. You know how these things go. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody that reached out and was asking how I was and what's the story, what's going on, and how things are. So again, it's a big appreciation from me to you that people are interested in what's going on. And this week, there hasn't been too much that's gone on this week, has there? Oh, there has. Oh, yeah. Well, last night, pretty interesting stuff. We'll be talking about that here tonight. I want to give a big shout out, by the way, to the people that were on the ground, that were in there, that were showing people what's going on. Because again, you've got a distorted view from the media about what went on. Of course, they all went down and had their long lenses, as you know, and we're there to be taking pictures. And oh my God, look at these guys. We'll get into that tonight. But fair play to the likes of Philip Dwyer, Gerard Murphy that were in there as well. I know Gavin Pepper was in there as well. And that's very much so appreciated, because it's important to have people that are boots on the ground in there, because the media have tried to spin narratives since then. And it's been interesting to see. Last night on Twitter was fascinating stuff. It was. Do excuse me. It could happen a couple of times tonight now, or I might have the cough or whatever. It just is what it is. I do apologize. So Twitter last night was very interesting, and it was interesting because initially what went on, people were rightfully outraged, and that is the case, and that is how people should be. It's something that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, and I have woven in entertainment and various other things to show you how people are being lulled into a sense of security when security and dangers are there all around you. Insofar as the state wants to tell you that they want you to make it more secure, which means more spying on you. I mean, everybody knows now that the state has applied and has gotten in previous months there the ability to stalk people's phones. They have gotten this ability to do this, and it's absolutely criminal that they are doing that. This people, I have to be honest with you, these people that are in government have far overstepped the line. And when you see an incident like yesterday, what occurs yesterday, these people are directly responsible for this. The government are responsible for this. The media are responsible for this. And I would even say that the people within uniform yesterday were responsible for what went on. Yes, you have to say that the people that were there also are responsible 100%. But I tell you what, when you have people in riot gear drawing battens and wading into people, that's when you have people that say, I'm not having this anymore. You did that when you did the likes of the sniffle stuff. You did it when it came to the likes of the water charges and everything like that. And you did it again last night when the situation was at a critical high. Why, in that sense, did Gardaí not just walk with the people? How come Gardaí were walking with the likes of BLM? Remember the incidents that happened in Blanchardstown when BLM went on a rampage for the best part of 2 weeks? Remember when they're trying to break into a Garda station? They silenced that in the media. Yours truly here was one of the only people, amongst others, that were reporting what was actually going on. There was a Garda member there at the time that the media were happy to throw under the bus. And only for people on this side of the fence that people say, hang on there for a second, what was your man doing? Yeah, your man was walking around with a mad big blade and he was swinging at Gardaí. Now, that to me justified the response, what went on. What doesn't justify a response to me is when people, concerned people, particularly men, are turning up and saying, we're not having this anymore. You have an incident that happened to Aisling Murphy. You have the incident that has happened to the guys there in Sligo, for example. And people rightfully on this side called it out and said, here, hang on here now, there's a problem. Crime is at an all-time high. You've got ministers that are walking through Dublin City that are pretending like there's nothing wrong when there is. You know there is. Everybody knows there is. When you go down the likes of the Keys, everybody knows that there's issues there. Gardaí won't walk around those areas. But loads of energy from the Gardaí to be out there last night. Loads of energy from them to be out there tonight as well too. But you know where they're not? They're actually not at the borders. They're not actually stopping people or showing them the energy that they showed people last night. That's weird, isn't it? Now, I'm just going to point to something that happened a couple of months ago. And again, I know this might be people, but I think people might say, hey, you're going in on the Gardaí. I just want to lay out some facts that have gone on here. You've got 98.7% of the GRA, which was reported upon by people on this side of the fence only 2 months ago, if I remember correctly. It could have been before that, could have been after that. I'm open to correction on that. 98.7% told Drew Harris that they had no confidence in them. Now, that to me is you've lost the dressing room in football terms. The dressing room has said no. Now, what did the government do? I know they did nothing because there's no accountability here in this country. The one thing, and I hate to say this, the one thing you can give the Brits from that point of view. Now, I mean, David Cameron has skulked his way back in. The one thing that the Brits do is they are accountable. They fall when they need to go. That's it. Here in Ireland, it's, oh no, hang on here, lads. Let's see what happens. Helen McEntee is still in the job. I mean, that's the Minister for Justice that is more interested. And this is the energy that they're going with today, by the way, lads. They're going with, we want to bring in hate speech legislation. Did you not just see what happened yesterday? Did you not see what happened and what has been long prophesied by people on this side of the fence? When people said, hang on here, you're letting way too many people into the country and you're not vetting them. Not only that then, but when people are getting criminal records here, for example, like your man Joseph Puskett, he is actually an offender in a previous country. Do you know what he has just done, by the way? The media wanted to hide this too. They wanted to not tell you that he has gone in and has said, yeah, no, I'm an offender of a certain nature in Slovakia. So they're going to try and send him to a handy prison, not to Mountjoy. I fear for my life in Mountjoy. I mean, this is the point in time that we're in right now, guys. We have people that are sitting in Mountjoy that have more morals and principles than an awful lot of people that are on the left. I would even say all of the left. Twitter yesterday was insane. The left were shutting down responses. They were shutting down accounts left, right, and centre yesterday. Incredible stuff, because there was a barrage of tweets where people said, "Ah, no, you're not getting away with this anymore." The same people that supported the likes of the Sniffles passports, that supported you being stuck in your home over the flu, that still are at this nonsense now, are the same ones that are out there going, guys, that sort of behaviour yesterday is untenable. It's not right. Hang on here for a second. You're the same person that's waving the likes of a Palestinian flag in your bio. You're the same person that's waving an Israeli flag in your bio. You have left the discussion here, mate. You're also the same person that was waving a blue and yellow flag only a year ago. Now, I have to be honest with you. I saw more action last night than I did in 2 years from that blue and yellow flag waving country. I mean, I don't know about you, but that seems very weird to me. So all of what happened yesterday is a grand culmination of things that have happened over the last number of years. Here's the basis of what went on. People are unhappy with the current situation in this country. They're unhappy with the government. They've been dismissed by the media. They've been called far-right racist. They've been called all sorts for the last number of years. They're being called dole scroungers. They've been called dole warriors. They're saying that they should be actually deported and sent out to sea. It's stuff that's been said on Twitter about people, right? So these people have become marginalized. They're now living in a community that has had an awful lot of these refugees that are welcome here, idiots, hanging around their areas that have shoved these people into their areas, and they have had to deal with the consequences of that. Now, I don't know if you will, but yeah, there is an element of stuff that goes on down there, 100%. That's not to be looked away from. But you have to look at those people and say, well, hang on here for a second. They might have a point. They might have a point with their communities being overrun with people that are up to no good. Their men, their women, their children are susceptible to people now. Because the government have decided, oh no, we'll bring these people in and we'll do a big rainbow parade there and tell people that these people are great. Then you get incidents like what happened yesterday. The bare bones of the argument from everybody from this side of the fence, by the way, is rooted in logic. Had these people not been granted entry into the country, the likes of the two lads there in Sligo would still be alive. Ashton Murphy would still be alive. And indeed, the children wouldn't have been attacked yesterday. Now, of course, you get people that go, oh, the guy that was there now yesterday, he's been in the country 20 years. I didn't know that there was a war going on in Algeria, did you? Why is he here? How come he's not going to any neighbouring country? Isn't it weird that these people are travelling so far to this country, and a lot of them don't have a lick of English, by the way? That's an awful lot of the problem that we have here in this country, really. I mean, the fact that our language is taken away from us by the British, that's why we're in the boat that we're in right now. I'm not saying this sort of boat been done to the likes of Hungary or Poland, do you? Anyway, you get people then that are saying, oh, boys, they're here 20 years. Well, that is a big, big problem with the system. The system giving out citizenships to people that they don't even know who they are, what they're like, or what they're going to do. And another point that I will make, and I always stress this point, we have enough problems of our own, with enough people of our own, without importing more problems. It's insane. It's actually insane. And you have people that are out there on Twitter, for example, you have an awful lot of women, by the way, leftist women, because they have some sort of fetish. I don't know what it is. But these people are out there going, guys, you can't be like this. Listen, if you love these guys so much, head on over to Turkey like you do and have a good time. Okay? But I tell you what, people are just disinterested now in having their families be under threat and their families be under scrutiny now from the state, because they're pointing out, hang on here now, we're noticing there's a problem. We're noticing that in areas that we live in, we're starting to be outnumbered and we're starting to see different problems. And if you don't believe me, you just got to look at the likes of what Sweden has been saying, particularly their officials. Their officials are done with this nonsense. You've got the UK that are in the same boat as well. You've got France that has been in the same boat for quite some time, and Spain. Now, a mention to Spain there, by the way. Spain is on its 20th day of protest. It's on its 20th day of protest, which means that the media haven't covered it. Nobody knows about this. And they're supposedly after being a socialist coup over in Spain. They're not talking about it. And the people in Spain are out there peacefully protesting. So you got a lot of people and a lot of commentators on their side of the fence that are going, well, the inevitable was going to happen, which was yesterday, because you've decided to push people so far. You've decided to just dismiss and not listen to people whatsoever. And you've decided to keep peddling your own narrative. So much so that mainstream media articles are locking replies, they're blocking people, all sorts. The bets are off now for these people, but they've lost control. And like I said, just to borrow the term from earlier on, they have lost the dressing room. The dressing room is irreparably broken now. And what happens when a dressing room is irreparably broken? You have to get rid of the manager, because that's what you currently see in football. When the manager isn't doing the job, when people aren't listening, the manager's got to go. And you've got multiple people that were in that government now. And here's the thing, you do have people that are there now that are opportunists within the government. You've got the likes of Pascal Donoghue coming out today doing an interview on Grip Media, in fairness to them. Ben Scallon with the questions yet again. You got him asking the questions, and the right questions as well, about whether the government take responsibility for what went on yesterday. And Pascal Donoghue did say that they do take responsibility for that. Now, Pascal Donoghue will probably try and slink his way into a high-profile position like Taoiseach. He strikes me as the type of man that would love to be a Taoiseach. But to me, that is absolutely unbelievable to see that they've actually somewhat admitted to that, because that was not on the cards at all. And only for Grip Media getting in there and asking that question, that's a good thing. Now, again, like I said, you got to look at these people in the political posturing, because I don't believe that we do these things for no reason. I don't think that these people in the government say things like that for no reason. And I mean, you just got to look at the videos, by the way. The videos that have been coming out the last while of when Helen McEntee is talking, Simon Harris is behind her making faces. And like, it's incredible. I would urge you, anytime that the government are talking and Simon Harris seems to be in the picture, hone in on what he's doing, because his face, he can't seem to be able to tell, or have a poker face, I would even say. His tails are all on show. He's looking around, his eyes are widened, he's looking in disbelief as to what's been said, and he's going, what's going on here? Now, that's a man that's very much so out of his depth as well, too. But politics is one of these things now that people are looking at and they're saying, hang on here for a second. These people now that are there are happy to jump on each other and are happy to take each other's positions off themselves. Well, yeah, that's what they're going to do. But I think what's important now is that there is a real political movement that drives itself forward, and it takes the seats from these people. You can't trust these individuals. There's no good in saying, hey, Pascal's good there, now fair play to him, we're going to give him a backing now in the future. They've shown you repeatedly that they are not interested in looking after you. Repeatedly. I don't know how many times people need their eyes wiped there to say, all right, that's enough of that. And I mean, Sinn Féin aren't the answer either. There's no surprise that those videos that I'm doing are doing good numbers, because everybody knows as well. I mean, how unbelievable is it that Mary Lou, one of the ones that was walking with the likes of the NGO march there, that's been on the side of the left with the likes of People Before Profit, is sauntering on down then to yesterday in Parnell Street to get a photo op and talk nonsense. Unbelievable. And this is a woman that's out there now with the little 2030 badge on that they're all wearing. So if you think that they're any different, Sinn Féin, they aren't. They're all part of the same group, man. So anyway, let's have a look into the chat and I'll say hello. We've got Derek Madison here. Says good evening, everyone. Hope all well. If you had at Ninja Night, that would be appreciative. Now, I can see that the chat's quite big tonight, so I'm switching. I'm straight. I'm probably not going to get to everyone there tonight now. So let's have a look now and let's see what's going on. Let's have a look. Fnara Murke was in here as well too. Says hello. Good to see you. Era only B1014 says good evening. Good to see you here as well too. Great to see you. We've got Sheepdog that's in here also. Brilliant to see us, guys. We've got information that has come out now tonight, by the way, guys. Derek Man says congratulations on 6K, Ninja. Thanks very much. Can't believe that I've broken the 6K mark tonight. Thanks very much, guys. Ruckus is in here as well. Sends €2. Thanks very much. You've also then got Philip Dwyer and Garrod as well too. That were doing great work last night. I think Philip's on the stream here tonight. If someone let me know, I think that's a 7 o'clock one. I think that was. So if you let us know, then we can give them a shout out then towards the end. End of the line, Joel says referendums needed. The Irish need to be asked if they want to stop. The thing about referendums, and I'll be honest with you, you've got the Red Sea poll that said 75% of people weren't happy with what's going on. That's enough for me. That's enough for me to go, right, that's it. Referendums are a dodgy territory because the thing where a referendum is that they can swing each way they want. And we've seen that in the past. There's no way that they've done things in the past, and especially with the amount of marketing and advertising they've put into things, that they were ever going to see a loss in those things. I mean, you just got to look at the EU. That's one thing. Who wanted in on that? People said no to that, and then they came back and they're like, oh, no, you still really want that. And the second time it got in, yeah, right. Don't believe that. Then you see what's going on with the repeal the 8 stuff as well, too. And I mean, here's the thing, guys. The people that are condemning what went on last night, which is, and just in short, and I'm not trivializing it, even though people say I am, a Foot Locker and an Arnott's store, and probably I think a JD or something like that, people broke into and looted. We've images of the people here tonight now. We're doing a couple of videos, so don't forget about that. Don't worry about that. And of course, as well too, leftist Twitter blamed all Irish people for it, by the way. So these people are still outraged about these people taking a few pairs of runners, but not outraged about what happened to the kids yesterday, and are the same people that supported the repeal the 8 stuff. So again, total hypocrisy. Total and complete hypocrisy, and nobody really cares anymore. So that's why you saw an awful lot of people ratioing the left, and the left being pushed in the algorithm there last night. Heavy. I said it last night. I did. I was talking to a couple of lads. Sterco Soldier was in there. You got Toby as well too. Toby and Mick Chopper O'Keefe that were hosting the spaces, and you've got there. Gavin Pepper was in, and Phil Dwyer. I don't know whether he was in there later on or earlier on or whatever, but they were all saying the same thing. They were all going, yeah, this is crazy. And at the end of the day, this is stuff that we knew what was coming, because these people in government haven't looked after people. And what they've done is they've just directly spat in people's faces now for years. And this is a direct result. But they were also saying as well, too, when it comes to the likes of the looting and stuff that went on, absolutely horrific. But at the end of the day, what happened to the kids yesterday is something that the left want to step over and go straight to the looting then. So that says it all. That says it all. Derek Manson here says Ninja Night drinking game playing is optional. Says anytime our house has allegedly speculatively or mentions his fella, take a drink. So when it comes to referendums, I don't believe in them really. So the wind chime says Reverend Sideways brought me here. Never knew of this channel before. Be interested in how it is. Thanks very much. Listen, it's not going to be my best show, I don't think, tonight, because it's still not 100%. So I'll be very upfront about that. There'll probably be a couple of word slips. There'll be probably a little bit of thinking and pondering and stuff like that, a little bit more than what I'm used to anyway. Still have a little bit of brain fog. That's what's going on. Streaky Bacon's in here, says be an interesting stream. A lot of good shout outs there in the chat room. Reedy's in here as well too. And we've got Bobby Crush is in here as well too. Yeah, a lot of people are unhappy. Smashing the Like says hello Ninja, you were spot on all along. Well, you know, I don't take any delight in what's going on. Noel Zones in here as well too, says good evening. Lord Tots in here says good evening as well too. Don't care what everyone else is saying. I miss you, Ninja Night, says Jerome Reedy. Thanks very much. The thing is, there's nobody that's on this side of the fence that takes delight in what went on yesterday. And I mean, it's a very shameful thing to see what the left are trying to go on about there. We're telling people that people are on this side of the fence licking their lips about what went on. And it's just like, that is the levels that these people are at. I mean, it's inhuman, to be quite honest with you. And all that's going on this side of the fence is people have told the truth for the last number of years and they haven't been listened to. They've been told that they're racist. They've been told that they're far right. They've been told that they're fascist. I mean, isn't it insane that the same people that are turning around and saying to you that you're a fascist are the same people that were advocating for the sniffles nonsense? This is where we're at. This is actually where we're at here in this country. And the only thing is, and the thing I'd say about this again and again and again is that this side of the fence that just keeps telling the truth is growing every single time. I mean, I'm looking at it here tonight. There's 244 people here in the chat. That's an insane amount of people. Do you know what I'm saying? And the reason why those amount of people are here is because they've said, no, I'm not listening to RT or anything like that now anymore. I'm not listening to Virgin Media anymore. I'm not listening to Ireland AM anymore. Done. Finished. Welcome, is what I'd say. I'm just waiting for this thing to switch over now to Gab, because I've got a couple of things that are over there. But going on what I was saying there, you've got now people on this side of the fence that the media are very worried about. And the reason why they're worried about people on this side of the fence is because they're gathering influence. They're taking influence away from the media. Gab should be loading up here now, guys. So they're taking influence away from the media. And when influence is taken away from the media, these people don't like it. And neither do the government, because then they lose out. If you have someone that's on the likes of YouTube, or you're on Rumble, or you're on Odysee or BitChute or whatever it might be, you're taking influence away from these people. And this is a big issue for them. I can't see that Gab is shown there. We've got GT in here as well too. GT's messaging me and everything. This is crazy here tonight now. Absolute legend. Hang on, just sorry there. Just GT just messaged in there, like just on Twitter. Crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Just want to make sure that we're going along here now and seeing that things are right. And GT was in there last night in the spaces. That's one of the names. I do apologise that if I forgot. But GT was making an awful lot of very astute points, as he usually does and always does. And he was talking about the fact that you have the military were brought in yesterday then into Dublin. I can't believe that has stopped showing. And now the moment I've literally just put that up onto the screen. This is a Gonzar production, just as you know. Here we go. Hang on. Booting up code, this thing. But GT made an awful lot of astute observations yesterday. The government would also be delighted in one respect as to what went on yesterday. And I'm not talking about the incident that happened, but what I'm talking about is the reaction. And he was saying as well, and I totally agreed, that they have everything in place now to do what they wish. And what happened today, again, is GT some sort of prophet? I think so. Maybe when it comes to these things. And Leo Varadkar's out there talking about, yeah, we're going to have to accelerate the likes of hate speech laws. So this is what they're doing. They're using it now. And they're going to continue to do that. So what they are looking to do is they are looking to continue put the boot down on you. And it doesn't matter. See, this is the thing that the left misunderstand. They misunderstand completely that this is eventually going to come for them too. They're just useful idiots. This is the same play the world over. You've seen the same sort of stuff. I've talked to people from Venezuela. They know what's up. They know what's going on. They've been under the same sort of stuff. Talk to people from China as well too. People that have escaped China. Good people. Not like Hazel Chew. Good people. People that have come over here and they're saying to you how horrific it is there, and they're absolutely delighted to be as far away from the place as possible. It's absolutely insane. And they're looking at this country and they're going, holy moly, the same sort of stuff is going on. Romanian friend of mine, same situation. He's looking and he's going, I'm going to get out of here quick. I'm seeing the people that are hanging around this country. These people that have been shipped out by Romania and they're in your country now. Unbelievable. And he's seeing the same sort of free speech being stopped as well too. This is an older gentleman and he knows what's going on. He has lived in a communist country and he's looking and he's going, you have no idea what's coming. You also don't have any idea, as he does say, as how good it was. He talked about the likes of the 90s here and he's like, the 90s here were great. He says, now I'm seeing this going on and he says, I can see exactly what's happening. So it's not just us that's seeing this. Everybody else is seeing it too. So what I have here is a tweet from Elon Musk. And this came out here tonight. So after the imagery and, of course, then the videos came out there of Leo Varadkar talking about what's going on. This is Elon Musk's response. Now, I said beforehand, this is the profile that I like to go on Gab. I think Gab is very effective. And I think Twitter is very effective. And Twitter has been super effective over the last couple of years. And more so since Elon Musk has bought it. People have had to dip, dive, duck, and dodge over the last few years in Twitter spaces and all the whole lot of that. Now, when I say spaces, I'm talking about Twitter itself. But since Elon Musk has taken over and has stripped back an awful lot of what was going on over there, there is way more talking points on it. The stuff that Conor McGregor is saying wouldn't have been allowed or permitted on Twitter before. He'd have been bounced out of place. The stuff that Grip Media are doing even, they would have been bounced out of place. The fact that Mike, Satirical Soldier, is still on Twitter says it all. He was regularly bounced off Twitter for telling the truth and telling people what's what. And of course, as well too, you might say he has some colourful language, which he does, but that's fair enough. So what? And as he does always say, and it's something I love that Satirical Soldier says, and a big shout out to him. And if you're not following his channel, follow his channel there on YouTube. He says as well too that these people are more offended about noises coming out of your face than they are about what went on yesterday. They're more offended about noises coming out of your face than you being in mortal danger. And I have to be honest with you, I think people that advocate for the stuff that, about Ireland to have open borders and all that, I think it's a mortal sin what these people are doing. The fact that they are putting you and your loved ones in danger is a mortal sin, in my opinion. And that's irreconcilable. I can't reconcile with anybody that thinks that this is cool, what's going on. Nothing. And a lot of people feel the same. And here's Elon Musk there saying, ironically, the Irish PM hates the Irish people. Now, you just have to look at Leo Varadkar to know what's up there. I don't think Leo Varadkar is fit for office. This is a man that was under investigation. He was under criminal investigation and got away with it. Why? Because he wasn't prosecuted by the DPP. Why was he not prosecuted by the DPP? Nobody seems to know. But what's odd is the person that is the DPP has an uncle that was in Fine Gael. The uncle is also pictured with Leo Varadkar. Isn't that strange? Isn't that odd? And we can look at the nepotism that has happened here in this country for a very long time. It rolls all the way back there to Ryan Tubridy's grandfather hanging around with Eamon de Valera. You think that that's some sort of mistake that Ryan Tubridy, who has as much personality as a piece of wood, you think that he's going to be leading the Late Late Show and is walking away now into a big job in Britain for no reason? When your eyes are open to what's going on, it actually becomes really clear very quickly. And the stuff that's going on, the corruption that's going on in this place is staggering. And not only this country, but worldwide. Where else would you get it that we have millions, if not billions, being spent and sent abroad in foreign aid rather than protecting our borders? Where else would you get it where a situation, and let's just take them from their side of the fence, okay? Let's just play that game, okay? Let's look at, now that's not something that they do. They don't look at our side of the fence and think about how we're thinking or anything like that, not at all. But let's just pretend we're them. You were sending millions and billions in foreign aid to other countries, and you didn't have Garda resources fit nor equipped enough to deal with what went on last night. And people were looking at it tactically, people that have more tactical minds than I do. And they were saying there was breaks in the lines there. There was fellas that were, and I'm sure probably women. I wouldn't say there was an awful lot of diversity hires out there last night. I think most of them are probably manning the telephones, to be fair. But you had fellas there that were left on their own and they were assaulted on their own. And I saw one video, for example, that had a member of An Garda Síochána and another fella came along on a push bike as a member of An Garda Síochána, and they had to take refuge inside of a bar. That is a failure. Again, like I said, when you decide to say, hey, we don't have the people, which is what they've been saying in the media, and we're losing recruitments, like they're losing people that are actively going through. I've talked to a number of people, allegedly, speculatively, that have gone through the service and they've got, I'm out here. Whilst they're at the college, they're like, no, I'm not doing this. No way. I'm out. Not only that, then you've got resignations that are happening on the job. And then you've got the Gardaí then posting out stuff on Twitter saying, we're going to DP centres there to promote to them. It's insane. So then you see that, and then you see what happened last night, and then they say, we've mobilised Gardaí from all around the country to come up now into Dublin to sort out what went on last night. It just fizzled out. That's what went on last night. People just said, no, we fizzled this out now. So when you look at that, and then they're saying today, we've brought up water cannons. Timmy Dooley, one of the ones. He was over there in the blue and yellow flag waving country hanging around with Zelensky not too long ago. You want to see the picture of him? He looked very shook now in the pictures he looked. He was over there hanging around with your man, which is very suspect nowadays because when you look at that and what's happening there, very strange stuff. What was that your man Zelensky did? Didn't he silence the media over there? Oh, he did he? What else did he do? He silenced political opposition too, did he? Well, okay. That's interesting stuff there, this, isn't it? Bet you didn't know that. But anyway, we shall move on. This Timmy Dooley fella is saying, we should have water cannons here in Ireland. Isn't it interesting that this is the energy that these people are going with, rather than saying, okay, guys, we've heard you loud and clear. We are going to shut the borders. We are going to start bringing in deportation officers, and we're going to start rounding people up, and we're going to start deporting them. But no, what's the go-to? Let's attack the Irish people even more, guys. Great stuff. What a clever move. What a clever move. Geniuses we're dealing with here. So I'm going to show you this image as well, too, this video. And the videos that came out yesterday were absolutely unbelievable. And I have to give full and total credit. I don't know who the people are that are giving and taking all the videos and anything like that. So I want to give full and total credit to them. And what all I do on this channel is it's Clown World commentary, as you know. And I just show you what's happening from the streets. Now, this is a journalist. And Conor McGregor, now you can tell even by the garb that your man's wearing there now before we even get into this video of what way he votes and what way he thinks and all that. That's probably a Green Party supporter, allegedly, respectively. But Conor McGregor made a tweet about this guy, and I'm paraphrasing it, and paraphrasing it is what I will do. And he said, "This is the image of a weak and feeble man. And this is the type of person that has led us to the position that we're in here in this country. This is your refugees welcome type of merchant. This is your fella that goes out and tells you, the climate is something that we really need to be worried about. You also need to be very worried about the sniffles. And if you're not someone that's worried about the sniffles, you're a far-right fascist. If you're worried about people roaming around your streets with a knife, you're a far-right fascist. If you don't want people just invading your home, you're a far-right fascist." That's the type of stuff that you're seeing here from dudes like this. So let's have a look at the video. And to be fair to the people that are out on the ground there yesterday, challenging these people to their faces, amazing stuff. Let's have a look.
This is the fella that was walking around Dublin for the last 8 months calling people far right and racist. From the Irish Times he is. Hey, look at them all. Look at them all. Far right. Look at him. There he is. Everybody remember him from a few months ago calling people far right and racist. Yeah. You're going to write what you're going to write in the Times tomorrow. Cry for help, was it? Was it cry for help? Fucking God. Look at all of them.
The fact that he looked down like that as well too says it all. That's an acknowledgement of the fact that you know what you're doing. That's an acknowledgement to me. And this is the sort of stuff, if anybody's unsure of why he said cry for help there, that's the sort of verbiage that the media go with over the last number of years. But that was actually used. Remember when a fella, particularly a black guy, let's just point that out there, by the way, because the media didn't want to tell you that at all. Remember there, an African allegedly speculated, people say he could have been from Haiti Ninja, he could have been from Jamaica Ninja. How dare you say he was actually African? Anyway, not sure where the dude was from. But anyway, you can paint the picture. Went on a stabbing spree as well too out in Dublin Airport. What did the media say? Cry for help. Mental health issues he had. What's he doing in the country, so? What's he doing here? That's just a little bit of background on that one.
Look at all of them. Look at them. All of them. Oh, fucking dying for a good story. They've laid put up on the Irish people. Look at this gobshite idiot. Look at him. Pretend he's not listening to me. Look, we're not going to be intimidated anymore, all of you. Yeah. Look at him. Coming down on his push bike just to get the story. Now, what are you going to say about the Irish people now? Are they far right? Are they racist? Are they racist? Are they? Yeah, you were laughing at them 8 months ago when you were telling you this is going to happen. All of you fucking hacks. Yeah, go on. Look at them. Good luck on your bike, on your fucking bike. Go on.
Do you want to show me the video?
Yeah, on your bike. On your bike. I don't even listen anymore. You're disgust, yeah. You're on Twitter. You fucking know, yeah. He's on the scene. We all seen it. Go on your bike. On your fucking bike, you hack.
That's how a lot of people feel about the media, and that's the contempt that you're being shown by the media. Do you want to show me the video there? Do you want to show me it there? And your man's like, sure, it's on Twitter. You all know about it. Like, what are you wanting to do here? And then off he goes then. So later on then, RTE actually had a live, you say live stream movie? I don't know if they do live streams at all. They own their live shows. And there was people that were in the vicinity of Parnell Street and they were shouting. Now, I'm not joking you. The video's out there, but obviously you can't show it on this stream or anything like that. But the video's out there and people were shouting, close the borders. And what happened? The people that were in uniform behind the fella in RTE ran, beelined for the people that were saying close the borders to push them out. Like, that's what you're seeing. The people that are in uniform don't want the state broadcaster being shouted over by people to say what's going on and what's going wrong and how things can be sorted. That's where we're at. But it was something that Satirical Soldier said even yesterday. These people over the last couple of years in uniform, it's no wonder that they're seeing all-time high resignations. How would you go to sleep at night? How would you have any sort of conscience with following orders that are immoral? How could you walk out there and say, I'm going to stop people from walking around because of the sniffles? And let's not even go on that. Let's just even talk about what's happening recently. What about the fact that Gardaí have been on video shoving people out of the way in a state that they live in so that they could put people, particularly men and military age unvetted men, into these communities? You had one woman, particularly out in Santry, that was crying on camera. My heart broke for her because she's sitting there. When I say sitting, I mean standing. She's standing there and she's telling people, my husband, who was a retired detective, is going around these areas years to walk and go for his walks because of his heart, has a heart issue. And now we can't do that anymore. The insanity of that is crazy. You would actually think that that guy would have a word with someone in there and go, what is happening? What's going on? Why is doing this? And then these guys in uniform then were more than happy to shove people out of the way to put these people into the areas. The videos that have come out of people in uniform smirking at people because they don't live in those areas. It was a question that was posed last night on the Spaces, which was, do you think you'll see incidents like what happened down in the country, or excuse me, what happened in Dublin down the country? No, you won't. You won't see that. Because what's happened here in Dublin is it's been a cauldron it has for the last number of years with lots of different issues and lots of different problems. Now, in fairness, and I will always say it, I think the country people have a huge part to play going forward. And they have done so far. Because when you see an awful lot of the marches that are going on and the people in areas that are turning up to community halls and to TDs in these meetings and telling them they're not having it, that is a real driving force. Because if these people run out of space, they're going to try and shove even more people into Dublin. So, will you see that same sort of stuff that goes on here in Dublin happen down the country? Eventually, you will. But what you're seeing right now is you're not going to see something like that down the country. You're not going to see incidents that happened last night down the country. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. So let's keep going and keep moving through this stream and show what's going on. Now, I said this last night, and I said it on Twitter, and I says, it's weird, isn't it, how the social media of Twitter is starting to push an awful lot of leftist talking points. Leftists that I don't follow. I put it like this. I follow, I think, probably around 1,000, if not more, probably about 2,000 people on Twitter. So I'm actually, to put it in layman's terms here, subscribed to other people, and I should be getting what they're saying first rather than what everyone else is saying. But no, I was bombarded last night with leftist talking points, people I've never even seen or heard of before, and they were getting between 500 to 1,000 likes each they were. Now, the responses to them were absolutely lambasting them they were, and those responses were starting to climb before people hit protected tweets mode and started blocking replies and a whole lot of that. But like the likes of Gettr and all that were out there spoofing out them. These are two fellas that were walking with BLM during the sniffles, the height of the sniffles. Do you remember that there? Do you remember when you were told you couldn't go outside and you had to be staying at home? You couldn't go out to your granny. You couldn't see sick loved ones in hospital or anything like that. A lot of people lost sick loved ones in hospitals, they do. And the likes of BLM were walking through O'Connell Street. Do you remember that? People seem to forget about these things. And then the same people that were supporting BLM there had no issue with what went on in Blanchardstown. They had no issue there with a fella being attacked up in Blanchardstown. Multiple fellas being attacked up in Blanchardstown. They had no problem as well too with people hanging around outside a Spar and shouting anti-white racism at people within the Spar. No problems with that at all. But comes to yesterday and people go, oh, I can't believe what's going on. You best believe that I would be extremely upset if something ever happens to a loved one of mine. I would be extremely upset. That's just what I'm going to say. Because I think when you see people that are unhappy and angry, I think it's totally justified, and I think it's a righteous anger. I think what you're saying right now is a righteous anger. I think when you see people in politics and in the media that have goaded and have spat on people for the last number of years and have done it with a type of glee that we've never seen before. Politicians used to be underhanded here in this country. They used to be sneaky. You knew that they didn't like you. You knew that they didn't find you worthy or anything like that at all. But it's been cranked up to another level. They won't have anybody on RTE openly debating what's going on. And if they did, they'd shut them down. Oh, okay, right, that's enough from you. That's enough from you. No open debate. That's why people have turned to other platforms as well too. That's why the media and the state has lost legitimacy in all of this. I just want to highlight this, man, because this is something that's going on. After yesterday, people highlighted what happened and said about the people that had intervened. And I think that that was important. Now, I have watched what's gone on in America for the last number of years, and I've particularly followed an account called Salty Cracker. If you haven't seen him, have a look at him. He was one of the ones as well that opened the eyes to what's going on. My dad plays a big part in that, though, but Salty Cracker was also another one. And he announces and shows you how these operations occur. on what the media do. And GT said it last night as well too. Again, another very astute observer of what's going on. The media lie, and again, it's the Turkish soldier outside the same, Toby, Mick O'Keefe as well. The media lie by omission. The fact is that they left out this guy in particular. They've talked to you about the Brazilian guy, and rightfully so, should be commended, congratulated about what he did, 100%. They've talked to you about the lady that stepped in as well too, that I think was her name, Siobhan. She had a brother, as far as I know. Again, this could be rumour, could be speculation. Might not go into that now, but there was a rumour and speculation about a brother of hers that had a tragic outcome years ago. And I mean, amazing that the fact that that woman went across and helped. But she then said something strange, because RTE interviewed her, and I was looking, and again, I'm not that type of way inclined an awful lot at the time, but I look and I say to myself, if I could respond and even think about what's going on, if I intervened in a situation like this, I would be quite emotional, to be quite honest with you. I think that's a fair thing to say, because you would be thinking about what's going on, you'd be thinking about all the other problems that have occurred in this country, and you can't help but get worked up and annoyed about that. But she said something very interesting, and she said, me and an American lady formed a protective ring around the attacker. I just looked and I was like, you did what? You did what? I mean, let's just put this out there. What happened to Ashton Murphy was violent and barbaric. And that guy has gotten 12 years. 12 years. That's it. Now, from what the media will say is that this guy came from Slovakia. And Slovakia, do you know what their life sentence is? Actual life. Actual life. Not 12 years. 12 years is absolutely what should not be looked at for a situation like what happened to Ashton Murphy. This guy should be in prison forevermore. And that's saying things kindly. This guy as well too should be in prison forevermore. But the likelihood of that is very low also. Now, he'll get probably a bigger sentence than most others would when it comes to something like this. But it remains to be seen. Because if that's the case, and the government and the judicial system decide to go heavy-handed on this, just bear with me when you talk about this. I'm someone that's pro-life. How do you then say, okay, that's not good, and we're going to put time on that? And how then do you stand over the likes of the repeal the 8 stuff? There's no difference to me. To me, you're still committing a crime, in my humble opinion, and it's something that is being criminalized in places like America. So, like I said, it's interesting times to see what's going to go on from here on out, and I think people have had enough. And fair play to this woman here. This woman is saying there, I'm sick of seeing stories about the hero. My husband was the fourth person there. He struggled and got the knife off the man. The bike on the ground, grabbed the knife and ran across the road with it. My poor kids are traumatized, as is Warren. Below is Warren's jumper from the struggle, getting the man away from the child, and the knife, the truth will be told. Worst day of my life, my baby's birthday, can't get the sight out of my head. And there's this man's jumper there. So, like I said, the media went into overdrive yesterday, and this is something that I think and had thought yesterday. I said, right, it's very interesting that they've decided to peel certain people out now of the situation very quickly. And again, full commendation to them. Absolutely 100%. My total respect to them. Absolutely. But I said to myself, something seems off about what they're doing here. Something seems off about the fact that they've decided to say, oh, Brazilian guy, French guy, straight away off the bat. And I'm saying, that's Parnell Street. Like, that's one of the busiest streets in Ireland. And there's an awful lot of Irish people that hang around them, and an awful lot of people that are from other countries too. But I said to myself, that's an unusual one, that is. And here we go now. The media have been caught yet again, they have. But this is what happens with social media. Now, again, remains to be seen from what happens from here on out. But I would like to think that this man is going to get his rewards. I would hope to think that this guy is going to be someone that people are going to say, yeah, fair play to him as well. And hope that all of the heroes of yesterday are fondly remembered and congratulated and commended forevermore. Because what happened yesterday is a horrific attack on Ireland. Not only the pure innocent children, but an attack on Ireland. So these things need to be viewed like that. Absolutely 100%. So what we have here is Helen McEntee from 2020. She said, I've seen, now this is a tweet that was shared to me from someone else, and it says, I've seen so much footage of Ireland's military in the US attacking peaceful protesters. It's upsetting, it's infuriating, it's hard to watch, but we must. People need to see what's happening. Hashtag George Floyd before our eyes should be a wake-up call for us all. Black Lives Matter. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, two of the looters there that were in Dublin yesterday, because this is another thing that the left want to tell you about. They want to say, yeah, this is just Irish guys Those guys don't look too Irish to me now, do you? What do you think? Then you have an image from yesterday. I mean, that's a harrowing image there of the bag. Absolutely harrowing, 100%. It's hard to believe that actually occurred yesterday. It's actually surreal. Surreal it is. Here's Leo Varadkar, and this is something that they're wanting to say. They want to say, oh, people are fanning the flames of ism and istaphobes and all that. But here's Leo Varadkar not too long ago, and this is, in my opinion, should you not consider this to be racist, what he's saying, spouting out on the doll? Let's have a look.
And one thing I strongly agree with the deputy on is the need to set a target to have a number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health service that's very diverse.
I'll just play that again there because that just stalled.
And one thing I strongly agree with the deputy on is the need to set a target to have a number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health.
That's actually racist, isn't it? Like, is it not racist then to promote someone over what they look like? This is the same sort of stuff you've seen in America. The same sort of stuff. We've just imported it here at light speed, and what's happened with this is it has ran into the wall faster than it has in any other country. Other countries have tolerated this stuff and have said, yeah, no bother at all. And Ireland's gone, no, we're not going to have that. I don't think so. And we've done it in record time. Record time we've done it in. The world is watching what's going on here, and they're going, we'll have a bit of that. Fair play to you is there. Nice one.
Health service that's very, very diverse, although less so as you go up towards the senior positions, and not so much in the Gardaí, not so much in the Defence Forces, not so much in the education sector as a deputy.
So just an important thing to note there, the Gardaí and the Defence Forces, that's two things that they definitely want to make more diverse. Now, why do you think that they want to make that more diverse? I'm sure there was people last night that were thinking before they drew the battens. I'm sure there was people last night that felt bad after the fact, regardless of what you want to think. I don't think you would get that from people that are not from this place. I don't think they'd be bothered whatsoever. How do we know that? Well, you got to look and talk to people. And you talk to people, Americans, British and stuff like that, people that have served over in the Middle East, and they don't seem to think about it much at all. I'm going to say to myself, that's weird, because I think about it, but that's just me.
But he mentioned not at all in the civil service, which is very white, including the Department of Equality, for example, and that actually needs to change.
Now, imagine if the opposite was said. Imagine if someone said, hang on here, lads, do you know what? We've too many doctors here that you can't understand at all, and too many of them from India there now, and we're not sure about that at all. You would be lambasted in the media. And an awful lot of people are feeling that way. You go into a shop in some places and you're asking people things and they don't know how to speak English, and you're looking at them going, what's the story? What's going on? That's absolutely unreal. But this guy is actually calling for active anti-whiteism in this country.
So we need to have, I think, a target for people who come from ethnic minority backgrounds, but also dedicated recruitment campaigns to encourage people, because we do need a generation of young people growing up in Ireland who are people of colour to see black and brown school principals, judges, Cian Corla perhaps in the future.
Why? On what merit? I mean, you're hardly any sort of role model, are you? You're at them under criminal investigation. You're someone as well too that leads a very seedy lifestyle, cheating on your partner not too long ago there, weren't you, Leo? You're hardly someone that's a role model. And then you're saying, oh no, we should totally look at people for what they look like instead of their character and their the merit. Absolute spoofer. Complete and utter spoofer. And then they have the gall. These people, like this guy, has the gall to turn around and tell you, you're a far-right racist. What? This fella literally just did the definition of racism. I know that's hard for the left to understand. I know that they don't know how to understand words, and they like to throw words out and they go, you're a far-right racist. What does it mean? They can never define it. This is literally it. He is telling you we're going to see more of these people of this sort of way, and what people want to do is they want people to look like them. Listen till I tell you this. There's a character. He's called Blade from Marvel. One of my favourite superheroes. I often tell this story. One of the four superheroes of the 90s. Absolutely unbelievable. Played by Wesley Snipes. Doesn't look like me. Couldn't care less. Did a great job. I don't want to see Ryan Gosling play Blade. You know what I'm saying? Absolute insanity here. This is a guy that's supposed to be leading this country. This fella is exactly what people are talking about putting division between people and disdain and dislike between people. I'll tell you what I want. I want the best person for the job. I don't care what you're trying to do here when it comes to saying, oh, we're going to open her up to people that look different. Why? I want the best person that goes into these jobs. If I'm going in and looking at a doctor now and he's pushing this sort of stuff on, this critical race theory nonsense, there's another word for it there in America where they like to promote people within this sort of way. But he is now going to make you think when you go into these facilities and these places, like, is this person even competent? Because that's what I think. I'd be like, is this person just here just to push up a quota? Are they just a diversity hire or what's the story? You know what I'm saying? Bad times.
Who knows? Visibility and opportunity is really important.
But not if you're an inner city person or anything like that. Don't worry about that though. That's not for you. The Bell Satirical Soldier. I just wanted to play this video because this video encapsulated an awful lot of how I was thinking, to be quite honest with you. And this guy, again, like I said, he has a YouTube channel. Follow him. Absolutely excellent. This guy talks in a way that I just can not help but admire. Does not give a rat's.
Here's a little piece of advice for anyone in government or for Drew Harris. Stop calling people fat. You're fucking helping no one. And stop making fucking poor tactical decisions with the fucking guards because you're putting their lives in danger for your stupid fucking agenda. You've been told now loud and clear. People have been fucking screaming it for long enough at the top of their fucking lungs. The problem have open more. Do your fucking jobs and fix the fucking problem. Because you can be guaranteed if another crime takes place, like what happened yesterday, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think people are just going to sit down and take it, or will they fucking wreck the place? Do your fucking jobs, represent the fucking people.
Did they take that advice? No. What they did was, they decided to go out and go, we've gotten water cannons from Northern Ireland, guys. So you've escalated the situation then, have you? You've actually decided to say to people, if you want a fight, come on, we have a fight then. Is that what you've done? Like, that is ineptitude of to the nth degree here, guys. That is unbelievable. How nobody has sat these people down and has said to them, listen, this is a bad idea. How many people sat in a room last night with the likes of Helen McIntyre or even indeed this morning and Drew Harris and sat there with their thumbs placed firmly up you know where and said nothing? Nothing. How can you not be viscerally angry about what happened yesterday? How can you not be viscerally angry about what happened yesterday afternoon? Because here's the thing, an awful lot of people think this, it could be you next, it could be your family next. You see these sort of incidents that happen in England. In Croydon, in England, a 14-year-old girl was on a bus and a guy did the same thing to her. And this is where we are at as a society. That happened on a bus and loads of people sat there and looked at it. Thankfully here in Ireland, people decided to react. But we have long gone past this sort of stuff now of saying, oh, I'm not going to get involved. People are starting to get involved now and they're starting to go, we're not having this anymore. But how many people were sat in a room with little ranks that they sit there with their little caps on going, we have a big problem here now at hand. What will we do? Shall we close the borders? Shall we send Gardaí to the borders? And shall we send them to the airports to be checking people coming in and out of the place? No, that'd be an intelligent thing to do. What will we do instead? We'll get water cannons and watchtowers and put them up there in O'Connell Street there. That'll fix it. Stupidity is what we're saying right now. And some of the times I decide to you, it's too stupid to be stupid. And it is. Because there's no way on God's green earth do we see what's going on here and go, that makes total and utter sense. Absolutely unbelievable. So anyway, I'll show you some of the stuff that went on here last night. You've got Moya Dunphy that decided to go and spout out nonsense. This is Johnny Vegas's ex-missus. This is Johnny Vegas had a good time at Moya and then got rid of her. Amazing that, isn't it? Shout out to the Ireland belongs to the Irish Brigade this morning, who have messed up one of the biggest shopping days. You're going to reference what happened to the kids yesterday, though, aren't you? Oh, no, you're not. All right. One of the biggest shopping days for many hard-working Irish retailers in the city centre today, and most likely many days to come. Absolute thugs. Hashtag Ireland is full indeed. Too full of you lot. Now, I said to her, I said, this person, this degenerate, I'll use it correctly there, cares more about shops than she did about the kids that had that, what's happened to them. And that's why I got there. So, says it all. McGregor said this on the 23rd of November. So, for anyone that's not been watching what's going on Twitter at night, or if you're not possessing a Twitter account, Conor McGregor has been standing up and has been speaking about what's going on, and fair play to him for doing it. It's low. It's long before time that this man has come out and said what's needed to be said, because this is probably the biggest celebrity in Ireland with a massive following. And whatever you think of him, the point is that he's getting this message out. There was massive international accounts last night that showed what went on here in this country and picked up what was happening in this country because he tweeted this out. That's why people like him are important from that point of view. So he posted this out in reaction to what's going on here in this country. And this was before. And Luke Ming Flanagan, who's hiding around Europe, is he? Is that what he's doing? Said, you should have a word with this person, Garda Info. What a snitch. And not only a snitch there, but these people can't wait. These people are salivating with the idea, with the thoughts of being able to stifle your speech. Because this is what these people do in government and in political spheres, and indeed in the media spheres. Close the replies, block you if you say anything that they don't like, because your opinion means nothing to them. It's not worthy. But Luke Ming Flanagan, oh, it's great, yeah, I'm off there now in Europe. Great stuff there, lad. But you don't care about what's going on here in Ireland at all. Instead, what you're doing is you're involved in a pact, it seems, with people to do the most ridiculous things here to this country and to the people of this country. And yet this fella's putting out something that's sensible, in my humble opinion. And you're going, they should talk to him about this. They should talk to him about the horty things that he's typing. How about reforming the justice system? How about that? How about having long sentences for people that commit violent acts? How about that? Like the one that happened yesterday. How about that? Or what happened to Ashling Murphy? How about having an actual border here in this country to prevent all of this? Because this is all preventable. It's all preventable if this country has a border. You also then have this woman here, Elaine Burke. I'll tell you what I'm scared of in Dublin right now, and that's white Irish men. And I put underneath it, and I said, anti-Irish, anti-white racist is all you are. She then decided to stop the replies, so only the people that she follows or mentioned can reply, and then protected the tweets. This is what I'm talking about, what went on last night. You had big lefty accounts that were getting drilled left, right, and centre, and they were like, nah, not having this anymore, because people rightfully saw we're going, nah, hang on here for a sec. You're way out of line here. And again, if you think that I have any sympathy for these people, I don't, because the reason why I don't have sympathy for these people is they decided to hang around and say, yeah, no problem at all, guys. Let the government do whatever they like when it comes to the sniffles. We're not worried about what they're doing to you there. You lost your argument that day. When you decide with the government on that, on lockdowns and mask wearing and stuff like that, and then the forceful injection of people to enter the likes of a restaurant, a cinema, a pub, and various other places, along with the fact that you had the likes of Senator Jerry Hawkins standing up there saying that people should have to use these things to get into supermarkets. You've lost the argument. Done. Now, what I'm going to bring you to here now are the comments that Ryan Casey made. These comments were censored by the Irish media. Okay? And when these were censored by the Irish media, a lot of people said, hold on for a sec, we cannot believe that this has happened. Well, believe it you must, because people have finally seen through the Irish media and they know that these people tell lies. So what Ryan Casey said was, and Conor McGregor tweeted it out, because this was the beginning of it. This was the beginning of everything that's gone on. And then Conor McGregor started to delete tweets as well too, and people called him out on it and said, no, I'm not having this, don't think this is right. And he said, okay, obviously himself, and then said, I'm going to just post these things up and leave them up. And fair play to him for it. Now, will he face backlash from the likes of the media? Already has. Sunday World were calling his previous comments there that I showed you that Luke Ming Flanagan was tweeting about. They were making more of an attack about what Conor McGregor said about what Ireland is at the moment than they did about what this guy, who is allegedly from a specific country, did yesterday. This is the media. They've hid this comment. If you've not seen this comment before, welcome to the show, because this has been going on now for years, and this is a lie by omission. The fact that they didn't post this out and let people know what Ryan Casey said is despicable. What they did was they did put out the likes of the video of when himself and the family there read out a statement, and there was a statement there about gender-based violence, and a lot of people puzzled at that statement. They were like, "No, it's to do with the open border here." Like, but here's what actually was said within the court. McGregor says, "Bravo, Ryan Casey." Ashton Murphy's boyfriend, Ryan Casey, said, "How can someone come to this country, get social housing, social welfare, not hold down a job of any description, and never contribute to society for 10 years? This is not the country that Ashton and I grew up in and once loved. It and has officially lost its innocence. This country needs to wake up. This time things have got to change. We don't want to see any other family have to go through what we have gone through. This country is simply not safe anymore. I'm afraid our country is heading down a very dangerous path." Pathetic words, because only a couple of weeks later, an incident like yesterday happens. And how long is it going to be until an incident like that happens again? We're hearing about these things all the time. The media have tried to hide and censor and lie by omission by calling people, Dublin man has done this, or Wexford man has done that. Then you see the names, then you see the pictures, and you're like, that dude ain't from here. Chico McCamden, remember him? Floating around the country, he was told to deport himself. This fellow was a very serious offender, and he's floating around the country. The only reason why they start moving him on, by the way, was because there was lads going around areas looking for him. What does that tell you? So the media don't know what to do with Conor McGregor now. The government don't know what to do with him either. Micheál Martin is a broken man. The last time that Griff Media interviewed him, he was broken. Now, Micheál Martin, of all people, the fact that he has lost 2 children should be someone that should actually have a word and a look in the mirror at himself and say to himself, an awful lot of this now is totally and utterly preventable. How does that man sleep at night with what's going on here in this country? This is a fella, by the way, and I'm going to paraphrase somewhat, and he says, we don't want to look at sovereignty here in this country. It's a backwards notion. This is a fella that was shilling for the blue and yellow flag waving country all over the place. And not only that, then has decided to go over and shill as well to in the Middle East. It's insane. The hypocrisy. And that's what gets most people, is the hypocrisy. Look, we're human. And everybody at some point in time says things, and they say it in a way, and it might be hypocritical. But the lengths that this government and politicians here in this country and the media have gone to be as hypocritical as possible is what has just been the straw that has broken the camel's back here now. The fact that they decided to hide this statement tells you everything that you need to know. Absolutely unbelievable. Irish Independent, Tanya Sweeney, I spent my 20s feeling flush and spending money on holidays, designer bags and taxis. Now I earn more, but I'm constantly broke. This again links into the system again of what's going on here in the country when you have an open border. That makes house prices higher, which then means that you can't buy a home. People seem to misunderstand that. I've spoken to loads of people over the last number of weeks, and these people seem to not get it. They're like, yeah, no, houses are very expensive. And then be like, why do you think that is? Are there just too many people out there? Exactly. Now you're on the right way of looking at things. But what about, do you think people should be left in hand over fist there from huge populations like the likes of India, China, and various other places? I think people should be given free houses by the likes of the social housing. And they look at you and they go, don't know what to say. Do you not know what to say? But your money's becoming less as well throughout this whole thing too. So let's not forget about that. We've got this here also. I'll get on to that one now in a sec. We've Conor Sheehan said, this is hate speech. Whoever was distributing this in Limerick should be prosecuted. Garda Info needs to swiftly investigate this, and whomever is responsible needs to be held to account. We need to see the hate speech bill enacted as a matter of urgency this autumn. Who's this guy? Oh, Labour councillor. All of these people, they're just dying to get the likes of the hate speech stuff in and post out all sorts of nonsense that they want. I mean, look at the flags here. Look at the order of the flags. Just look at the order of the flags. You've got the gay flag, you've got the European flag, and then the Irish flag. That's the order of preference that these people have put things in. Me and my account, Irish flag, that's it. Done. That's it. Unbelievable. Cannot wait, they can't. absolutely cannot wait to get this sort of stuff in there because they know it's going to be politically motivated. They know that it's going to be leftist there, rules for thee, not rules for me. The same stuff as the sniffles, the fact that people were bounced offline, accounts hidden, restricted, and also then deleted and all that on various different things when people are telling the truth. But what happens with the truth is the truth will eventually get out there. You have this woman, right? This is something, we're coming to the point of the show now, and I'm going to show you a little bit of clown world here, and we're getting back into what's going on. Ava Smith, repeal the 8. All these same people, feminist. This is one of the worst things that ever happened to society, I think. Ex-academic, socialist, LGBT plus activist, TFY, repeal the 8, chair, Women's Aid, Body Fairness Star, Age Action, Women's Collective Ireland. Okay, so what's she up to here? Look at this. Now, I like to point this out and shout out to the old lad because I know he'll listen eventually, whether he's listening live or listening another time. He always likes to say, at your generation, that's at this sort of stuff. No, it's not. Was that it too? So all you have here is glad to be friends last night with Trans Remembrance Service in the Unitarian Church in Dublin. W event co-founder Linda Sheridan, Claire Farrell, Philippa Ryder, and with thanks to Tenny Tweets, Trans Awareness Week, LGBTI, and Trans Equality Together. Now, I'll just float back onto this here. Alva has 20,000 followers. This is something I always like to show people here on these lives. She amassed a whopping 50 likes on this tweet with 46.5k views. And then she tagged all these other people as well too. So that's insane. The likes of Mick O'Keefe and Toby are regularly getting more likes than this person and regularly getting more likes than politicians here in Ireland. This is where we're at. We the new media now. But they dudes. They are dudes. Let's jump out and have a look at the rest of the stuff here now. I hope if you're enjoying this show, make sure you hit the like button. Really appreciate that. That helps with the algorithm and all that sort of stuff as well too. Really important. 300 here tonight. That's a record, I think, so far. I don't think we've had that much beforehand. So big shout out to the people that have been recommending this channel. This is constantly doing this now, by the way. This is Gab's new thing to just throw you out into your homepage. The media is calling these people right wing, but it's mostly lefty people looking to break stuff. Gavin. I want to show you the videos I took from Gavin Pepper, by the way. Shout out to him. The fact that he caught Eamon Ryan on the hop, it was an absolute beaut. I'll have a look at that video now in a sec. I think that's the next thing up, is it? No, it's not. Anyway, we've got this here. Myself out there, lovely. Irish Census data 2022 CSO area percentage of non-Irish ethnicities. This is why you're having problems, by the way, in certain areas. Lisdoonvarna 67%, Ballyhonus 63%, Cluny 63%, Ballyvaughan 60%, Saggart 60%, Edwardstown 55%, Ballymahon 51%, Grenard 47%, Gort 46%, Longford 46%. That's why homes are more expensive, just so you know. And people misunderstand this, and they don't know, and they don't see this either. But you have people that are coming from the likes of Asia or India, and what a lot of these people do is they come together to do in groups, and they buy houses in groups to do. So they're blowing you out of water. They can pay the 6 figures they can because there's about 5, 6, maybe even 10 families that are doing that. And what they do is they all move into the one house, as you know, and then they start to spread out amongst the area then because they do the same thing elsewhere. They go 400,000 house, not a bother there because 10 families behind us, and they all do that for each other there, and then they populate the area, and that's what goes on. Now, that's not only what's happening as well, too. You're also seeing county councils, allegedly, speculatively, buying up houses, buying up property for huge fees. That's obviously affecting the area then as well, too. And you have then people, excuse me for that, you have people then that are in there. Now, again, like I said, you don't know what's going on, and that means then the area that has become more valued, which means then it's more difficult then for you to get a house because like the estate agents and all the people involved in that game then are going, hang on there, they got 450,000 for that house over there. Well, we should do the same because greed takes over. So we'll keep going anyway here, and we'll see what is happening. Keith Woods there was putting that thing up about Leo Varadkar, so let's have a look here now on this. So Irish Taoiseach Leo Varadkar promising more stringent hate speech laws after yesterday's events. Government has shown where their priorities lie. They're more concerned about hate from natives than migrants doing that to children on our streets. Also, we'll modernise our laws against incitement to hatred and hatred in general. That is more required than ever the case before. The Minister of Justice will coordinate with the Commissioner to ensure we never witness such terrible scenes as the 23rd of November 2023 ever again. Now, I'm just going to point this out, okay, because I think this is just as plain as the nose is on your face. We're the country in Ireland that celebrates the Easter Rising every year. The government are trying not to celebrate as much as possible, and they're trying to not tell you as much as possible about it. They'll have no problem now next year celebrating the likes of Black History Month, giving a whole month to it. They'll have no problem celebrating the whole month of June as well too, with people and preferences and all that sort of nonsense. But they'll give a weekend, just a weekend, to the heroes of the 1916 Easter Rising. Why do you think that is? They don't want to bring and draw attention to that. Because when you just reference that and look at that and say, hang on here, it was a group of people that didn't agree with the British Empire that went in and changed things forevermore, that makes them uneasy. What happens in Sri Lanka makes them uneasy. What happened in Afghanistan makes them uneasy. Because they know that those positions are very, very, very much so something that people haven't seen and that they're not aware of. They have seen that what has happened in America, and they see the likes of the political, I would say, attacking of people that went on in January 6th there. They have gone on about those people. They have legitimately said, people on the left over there have legitimately said that what went on January 6th was worse than what happened in New York that time. You know what I'm talking about, in the September? Remember that one? They're actually saying that. And they have hunted people for the last 4 years nearly to try and get them into jail as soon as possible, and as many of them as possible, for walking around the capital. This is why, by the way, I would say that the same playbook is used here now in Ireland, and the same sort of playbook is used all around the world. All of these talking heads on media and politics keep saying to people, if you're not happy, take your protest outside the door. That's impossible, because guess what you do? You have started to put up barriers around the door. You wanted to search people before they went in and started to protest outside the door there only a couple of weeks ago. So you're telling them that you don't want them to protest there. You're also then trying to put up these exclusionary protest zones. This is what they want to go with. They want to tell you, no, you can't protest there. You can protest over there, but you can't protest there. Now, that is an incremental step to them going, okay, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to take then the whole movement. So you give these people an inch. It's like your man there in Argentina. Now, I do say that there's something quite strange about a fella that wins an election for his country and then starts waving around the flag of another country, and they did it too in Holland. But you can't give these people an inch. That's what we're seeing. And yesterday's events are very reminiscent of that. Conor McGregor says, do not let any Irish property be took over unannounced. Evaporate said property. And he said, it's you know what. You've got this here. It says population. They're gleefully saying this in the media. They're like, oh my God, the Irish people will be just a minority by 2050. They're actually doing it. That's what they're out there doing in the media. They're like, academics are saying that by 2050, the Irish people will be a minority in their own country. And you're looking at it, and they will legitimately tell you with a straight face, but that's a good thing. That's what they've been doing for the last couple of years as well when it comes to entertainment as well. These things are all intrinsically linked. Very, very easy to see. So what sort of direction are you going to take? Are you going to just sitting down, lying down, and being called an istaphobe by these people who are just doing whatever they want, whenever they want? Or are you going to say, nah, enough's enough on this? This is why important talking points like these need to be made. That you start talking to people in your everyday life and start saying to them, nah, hang on here. Because I've had a number of people in the last number of weeks, and indeed today, that were trying to start off with the whole negative stuff of last night. And I'd say, now hang on here for a sec. And when you check them with a couple of facts, then they're like looking at you now through gritted teeth, to be fair, initially. But you say to them, listen, here's the logic of it. Here's the logic of why people are upset. Here's the logic of why people are going to continue to be upset anytime something like this happens. And, you know, I suppose I said earlier on that the government would be delighted that of the stuff that they can bring in as a result. But I would also say that there's an element of there's Batman there, there's fear. Because they'd go, oh shit, we didn't think that this was going to happen. And when you admit then, because if I'm just looking at it from my point of view, and again, I'm only giving my opinion here, okay? But when I'm looking at them and they're saying that they were tactically unaware and unfit and hadn't got the resources and had to move people in from various parts of the country last night on a whim, I look at that and I go, that's a bad admittance there. You've legitimately told people that's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Why would you admit that? That's a weird thing to do. And again, these things are too stupid to be stupid. These people have been told and given the script. I highly doubt that these people are going out there going, we're going to make an absolute hames of this and literally tell people that we're not equipped to do this. Like, that's bad news. Let's keep going. McGregor said that there on the 22nd. This is Nahir. Nahir is born in Germany. Nahir is German. This is Fluffy. Fluffy is born in a horse stable. Fluffy is a horse. I did a poll on Twitter and I was just like, what did I say? If a dog was born in a barn, is it a horse? I think like 5% of people said, yeah, it is. That's what you're dealing with on Twitter with polls. It's unbelievable. That would just be far. So this is the mainstream media. So the mainstream media is more outraged by Irish people standing up for their community and country than the alleged Algerian migrant stabbing, innocent children. The mainstream media is the enemy of the people. Now, that's a comment that I totally agree with. This is what they went with. Now, there's people that are out there, and I suppose when you see like events that happened and transpired like they did in St. Stephen's Green, when people were out there protesting the flu restrictions, and you'd got a guy there with a firework that decided to fire off, and the Gardaí indiscriminately waded into people with batons again. You look at it yesterday and you say to yourself, that's a bit of an odd situation. That's a bit of an odd situation that they've lost so much control, and have said that they've lost so much control that they were inequipped to do it. Then they decided then to wade into people, which is a bad idea. Then they abandoned vehicles around the area. If I was a cynical man, I might say to myself that there might be something to that. And the media then get the story like they do, as you can see here from yesterday. Totally forget about the kids. Totally forget about what's going on. Totally forget about the border situation. And yet this is the thing that they have a go to. So I know people that are out there, people say, well, that's the biggest conspiracy now that you could think of. But there are people out there that would legitimately look at that and say, well, that's finagled into a situation there that they can talk about. And again, that's the psyche that they're trying to push and they're trying to co-opt and psychologically affect people with. They're trying to get you to forget about the incident that happened yesterday afternoon and who perpetrated it, again, allegedly, respectively. And they wanted you to go, the people that went in and robbed the Footlockers are way worse. I disagree. And I think the large majority of Ireland disagrees there too. Let's keep going. We have a look. Yeah, that's good, that one there. So I've done that. We'll go back now onto the profile. I think it's going to kick me out into the home as well too. This using to do that. What it used to do was, I know that's awful English by the way, using to do that. This didn't used to do that. No, it's done it now here from me now tonight. It's acting correctly now at the moment. Fair play to you there, Gab. So I want to show you Gavin Pepper here. Now Gavin Pepper did this video a couple of days ago, and he's calling out Eamon Ryan. So it's not just the situation at hand. Like I said, yesterday's incidents to me, again, now people might disagree, absolutely, that's fine. But yesterday's incidents, I think, were reflective of everything that's going on here in the country. I think they're reflective of the problems that you're having when you have government officials that are coming out there and telling you to be totally super duper scared of the weather. Meanwhile, you look up and you see the X's and O's that's been played in the skies, and you don't want to talk about that, of course, at all. I think that's very odd, to be quite honest with you. They're not talking to you about the fact that they want to make you pay as much as possible. So again, that's factoring in what I was talking about earlier on there about that woman there posting out and saying, hang on here, I used to have more money in my 20s and I don't now. Well, you're paying more for your bills now. You're getting less and you're paying more for things in the likes of the shops now. And that's all a direct result of these people. They're also telling you, and they snuck this in, by the way, just the other day. I think it was at 12 o'clock at night. They voted on the motion and they said, yeah, the PRSI is going to go up over the next 5 years. I'm not talking about that, though. I'm not saying anything about that. That's taking more money off you. So whilst they're all going with all this sort of nonsense, here's the reality of the situation. And this lets you know, and it's something that's been said by a lot of people beforehand, that politicians are just unattractive actors. And there's something to that, because when you see these people out in person and when they're confronted by members of the public, like the likes of Gavin Pepper, like the likes of Philip Dwyer, and various others like the Irish Inquiry are doing a great job as well also. And the Irish Git as well too, another fella as well too, big shout out to him. You see these people then for what they are. They cannot answer these people. Eamon Ryan is in politics and government how long, and he cannot respond to Gavin Pepper here. Let's have a look.
Minister Ryan, what is your problem? Why are you trying to install carbon taxes on the people in the country? In the city, you're trying to increase to €5. Why? And you're trying to bring park charge from €2 to €4. Do you not think that's not afford it? Come on, you can answer me, Minister Ryan. You don't need to ignore me. Do you not think it's wrong? Do you not think people haven't got the money with the cost of the living crisis that's gone on in here? Those people under 50, people are struggling, and then the really poor people are people on social welfare, but you don't seem to care about those people, Minister. Do you not think of people that need those, that need to go into
Sorry there, folks. Just the usual nonsense when you try to do a stream here on this platform. They try to kick you out to do as much as possible. I have to start streaming on Rumble. I really will. Because this stuff is getting out of hand over here in this place. How's the sound? Can everyone hear me? Just let me know in the chat. Yeah, we're all good. Okay. We'll get back to Gab here. Show you what's going on. We caught the end of that Eamon Ryan video, yeah? That's good. Okay. So this is what we're saying here as well. Puska was prosecuted for this in native Slovakia. So great that we've left him into the country there. That was a really bold and interesting move. Great stuff there when it comes to diversity, isn't it? Absolute joke of a system we have here. How can you be convicted of that there in Slovakia and still enter into this country? Isn't that madness? So this was the Gardaí last night, proudly posting out on Twitter, guys, we have the place under control. Well done. Well done there, fellas. Oh, ladies. Sorry, excuse me. There's ladies there also. Well done. Well done, guys. Heroes ye's all. Not out to the airport, though. No, not out there to look after that at all. Weird stuff there. Satirical Soldier put this up a while ago, and I have to be honest with you, this has struck a chord with me. Because, again, another prophetic type of comment when it comes to these things. And you have this here, and he says, Irish people will learn and their kids can't get into college because they are white. Irish people will learn when enough of their children can't find student accommodation. Irish people will learn when enough jobs have been stolen for the sake of diversity quotas. So that's funny, isn't it? Because that's something that Leo Varadkar just talked about there. Irish people will learn when they hear every accent bar an Irish one when they walk their cities. That's already happening in Dublin. Irish people will learn when enough of them stand in long lines behind foreigners for services. Irish people will learn when enough of them go to prison for using hate speech to complain. Irish people will learn when enough of their sons are beaten or worse for absolutely nothing. Irish people will learn when enough of their daughters are beaten or worse. Irish people will learn when it's too late. So, again, I think his words there were very true. And I think there's something that people are saying the worldwide. I mean, here's the thing. And everybody says this. Spain for the Spanish. Japan for the Japanese. Nigeria for the Nigerians. China for the Chinese. Japan for the Japanese, as I said there, is another good one as well too, because they are a society that actually actively say not too many people that are here are non-Japanese, and that's cool. That's where we're going with it. You know what I'm saying? Australia. People want to put Australia into the mix like it's Ireland. And you're looking and you're going, Australia don't have an open borders policy though. You have to have a number of money, or you have to have a specific amount of money to enter into the country. And if you're acting the EJ, you're bounced out of it. If you have a prior record, you can't get into the country then. Like, that's a proper system. And people seem to think, oh no, it's just exactly the same as things are happening here. No, it's not. Absolutely, it's not. So I just wanted to highlight and remind you as well too. Here's the elected on count there. Cabinet appointments. Micheál Martin elected on count 6. Leo Varadkar count 5. Eamon Ryan count 1. That's astounding, isn't it? Pascal Donoghue is count 9. Michael McGrath 8. Simon Coveney 8. Norma Foley 8. Roderick O'Gorman 6. Barry Cowan 8. Helen McEntee 7. Heather Humphreys 1. That's another one that's hard to believe. Dara O'Brien 8. We've got Catherine Martin 5. That's another horrible individual. Stephen Donnelly, another horrible individual, 15th. Simon Harris, 15th. You've got Paul Gallagher there. Doesn't say the number there. I can't say it. Derek Cleary, 7. These are the people that are presiding over the place. You know what I'm saying? Madness. Here you've got a statement from Helen McEntee, right? This is like something that AI has whipped up. It's so impersonal. There's not even a signature at the end by McEntee. Ends is all it reads. Incredible stuff. Maybe they knew at that point in time that Ryan Casey had said the comments that he had said and that they were going to get out. And maybe that's why this is as an impersonal comment as you won't see. She says, my thoughts today are with Ray, Kathleen, Cathal, Amy, Ryan, and all of Ashton's family and friends. None of us can comprehend the grief and loss they carry every day. Are you going to assign any of that blame to yourself there? No. Their beautiful daughter, sister, and friend, a woman with so much to offer the world, was taken from them. Violently, by the way, you should add. Ashling's, you know what, shocked us all. It moved us to action, demanding an end to violence against women. Are you for real? That's where you went with this one. This is where you went with that. Her determination to achieve that grows stronger every day. For Aisling and in painful memory of so many other women who have been, you know what, and those who suffer still. So making it about this wokeism sort of stuff there. Was it not women that were outside the likes of Dublin Castle that were cheering as well too when they repealed the 8th? You want to say that men are violent? I can tell you this: it's the shoe that's on the other foot that should be said. I would like to express my gratitude to the members of Garda Síochána, our emergency services who respond to the same, and all those throughout the criminal justice system who have persevered with the prosecution of this most difficult case. 12 years is all he got, though. Should have been worse. But today we think of Aislin's family and in the communities of Mount Bulis, Blue Ball, Tullamore, and her community in Durrow. Their lives have been changed forever. Accepting any responsibility? Aisling should still be at their side, but I know the warmth of her spirit will never leave them. May she rest in peace. Ends. I mean, that's unbelievable, the fact that she decided to put that out there. That's untenable. Her position is untenable, but yet still she keeps going on. I'll tell you what, I said it to you beforehand, 2023, it was going to be a bad year for the left, and it has continued to be a bad year for them because an awful lot of people looked at that statement and they were disgusted by that statement, and rightfully so. This is one of the Fine Gael, was a think tanks or one of these things, meetings, one of their meetings. Very little people in the room. And you see another image then as well too. Here's another one. Special conference, I think. This was, yeah, that's it up there. There's a book wearing a mask. Look at him. Unbelievable. Do you know what you should do? And I've started to take into it now, I have. And when you see people out there with the mask on, these were the same people, by the way, that were running over to you, telling you to put the mask on. So what I do now is I say to them, I shout at them and I go, hey, you. And they look, oh, startled. What's going on? Take the mask off. Take it off. It's against the law. You can't do that anymore. And they're looking at you and they don't know what to do. You can see in their eyes, like, right. And they take her off. Because that's the sort of idiocy that we still have roaming around the place. Imagine that. I'm sitting in here now with my mask on. What a fool. I'm not the type of person that's going to these things. Pure sheep that will never be woken up, man. But the good thing about this is that a lot of empty chairs are here. They wanted to paint this in the media as, oh, we're so full. We have loads of people. No, that's not how it goes. So that's the picture from earlier on, lads. Honest to God. So we'll jump back in and see what else we've got up here on Gab. I didn't try to put up too much because obviously I wanted to spend enough time talking about what went on yesterday and the aftermath. I think there's other stuff going on tonight though as well too. I saw a video earlier on where people were arrested. And what were they doing? I don't know if they were doing very much. So we'll keep going here as well too because this factors in. So we've got Timmy here and has a very interesting handle, very odd handle, and has the Irish flag and the Nigerian flag. What's it with Nigerians claiming to be Irish? What's the story with that? Why is he doing that? He said, we're supposed to be coming together, not burning down our own city. Where's this we're and our coming from? You're Nigerian, mate. Now, I said that to him. I said to him, where's this we and our coming from? You're Nigerian. And then I was promptly blocked. Hilarious, isn't it? Hilarious. That's an image that should resound and should remain in the mind for a very long time. So this is what I was talking about earlier on. Here's the agenda 2023 nonsense. You can see it here. They're all wearing the same pin. Mary Lou put out this tweet there last week, I think, or the week before. I think it was the week before. You've got Varadkar wearing it. You've got Mary Lou wearing it. You've got Micheál Martin wearing it. You've got Eamon Ryan wearing it. So if anybody thinks that these people are not in league together, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. So this comes from, I think it's Aired News, I think, put this out. And hang on, I'm just looking at something there. Ferg just sent me a big shout out to Ferg, by the way. Ferg's doing amazing work, he is. The Open Borders Coalition, these parties invited 180,000 new residents to Ireland in 2023. So that's 1 year alone. And that's only not even the year ended, by the way. Anyone on Irish soil legally, illegally can vote for them. The bribery with free housing, benefits, etc. is outrageous and must be stopped. You've also got Leo Varadkar appealing to foreign people to be voting in elections. Is that not foreign interference in elections? Seems like these people have been figured out and now they're turning into people that are not from this country because the natives have had enough. And I tell you what, I think yesterday definitely sent a message to them to go, oh my God, they're going to just keep trying to push people into this place as much as possible and give them as much votes as possible. Same sort of stuff happening in America, same sort of stuff happening worldwide. It's the plan, it's what they want. And it's untenable. You cannot continue to do this because the natives then will go, hang on here for a sec. We've been outvoted here now in our own country. We've had enough of this. We don't want this anymore. Because you best believe when you see these people be moved in positions like they're being moved into. And again, I would have question marks surrounding the fella in Argentina. I've question marks surrounding your man there as well too in Holland. However, on one hand, you're going, well, it's causing a bit of a disturbance for these people. But on the other hand, the realist in me goes, well, these people are going around waving certain flags there that are just part of the machine. You know what I mean? And they're not waving their own flags, which is more important, is what I would say. Helen McEntee, yeah, but on that one earlier on, saw this as well too. This was actually in Dublin City there yesterday as well. So these people were sent up also, which to me then would say that they totally lost the run of the place there yesterday, which again is another grave mistake because how can you then put this out and go, oh, the genie's out of the bottle now, guys. Sure, look, we'll see what happens. Like, that's bad. And I remember last night now, Satirical Soldier talking about this, and Satirical Soldier was absolutely shocked at this. He was looking at it going, that is unbelievable, that is. And again, Satirical made a bit of speculation surrounding this. So we'll have to wait and see what sort of reasons they gave for these guys to be coming up. Not good at all. That's not good. Yeah, man from Argentina said some good stuff down, fairness. Some good stuff. The Justice Minister, her uncle, and the €11 million sale of Georgian country estate to this state. Amazing that. So this woman, by the way, was involved with a Tato Parkinson as well too, wasn't she not? Allegedly, respectively. It's all sorts going on. Anybody ever hear about what happened to her dad? If you haven't, you should look into it. And I saw articles, and I say this all the time, and now there's a lot more people here watching here tonight than there usually is. But I saw articles as well too that seem to have conflicting sort of stories in them from her. I don't know. It seems very strange to me. Again, allegedly, respectively. Very weird. But look at this anyway. We're supposed to be coming together. Now, hang on here for a second, mate. You ain't we. Imagine an Irish person rocking over to Nigeria and saying, we. It's insane. And you think that that's ridiculous, have a look at the way that Israel Adesanya spoke to Dricus du Plessis, and you can get a very clear picture as to how things are. So let's have a look last night there. We have a couple of looters that were on the loose there, allegedly, respectively, when it comes to this here. But there's some videos that got shown of people there that were doing some looting. And again, like the media and lefties on Twitter straight away were going, it's Irish. It's all Irish white guys. Really? Let's have a look.
3 Irish kids stopped today and you're in robbing the place. Well, I use all doctors and engineers. There you are, folks. Look who's robbing the clothes. Don't get in my face, I'll crack your jaw wide open. You're going to get a bad name for people. 3 kids stopped. 3 bodies stopped. 3 Irish brothers. You don't rob shops. Don't rob fucking shops. Okay, there you are. Have respect down here and have a bit of respect for our town. Fuck off. We're fucking Irish. There's a kid killed in this fucking country this morning. There you are, folks. There you are. Go on back to your own country and do it. You'll find it funny.
So there you go. That's the Irish lads telling them what's what. Now, according to Lefty Twitter, by the way, the foreigners in town yesterday couldn't be more unsafe than ever. I saw in Garrod Murphy's live stream, there was loads of black fellas walking around there and there was no sign, nothing to them. So according to the likes of the left on Twitter, there was some sort of massive descent of people that descended upon the capital that all shared views like people that wear white hoods there in America. But how is that possible then that people were floating around and not a bother at all? Strange, isn't it? It's very odd. But see, that's a narrative they decided to go with straight away. And fairness to these guys, they didn't assault these fellas at all. They just told them what's what, and these fellas started to move on and move away, and that was it. That was all. But fairness to those lads, chasing them off and saying, here, don't be doing that at all. That's wrong. And I'm sure, again, I've seen the videos about too of similar lads about too saying the same sort of stuff to people that were looting in places. The looting stuff is absolutely despicable. Absolutely despicable. And to me, again, very symptomatic of the system where you have opportunists that are coming out and are doing things like that. Now, if you not only have opportunists that are at these things, do you then have other people that are there that are agitators? Because they've been there at protests before. There has been protests that have happened and people have been sounded out immediately in the protest for being leftist and being far leftist. How many people turned up yesterday to cause trouble? And that sort of stuff as well too is very reminiscent of what went on in America. Like I said, Salty Cracker, if you haven't seen him, have a look at his channel. He's here on YouTube. He's also on Rumble. And he demonstrates how these people get into certain places and how they try to blend in with people and what they do and what they say and how they do it. And it's not just on the streets, it's on social media as well too. So you got to be looking at these things, keep your wits about you, seeing when these people are getting involved in things, calling it out. Absolutely 100%. Wonderful stuff to see people calling that out. I love to say that. That's the energy. Absolutely, that's the energy. And again, I'll go back to the point. I don't know why Gardaí didn't stand and walk with the people last night. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they're comfortable with walking with the likes of BLM, Marxists, and NGOs. I don't know why they're comfortable with doing that. We're starting to see it more so now from the political sphere and the media sphere. They're treating the far right with kid gloves. What are you talking about? There's nobody doing anything negative. And they go, oh, well, they did negative stuff last night. Well, how many of those people were there? How do you know what their political ideologies are? How do you know that? They could very well be people that are lefties that are there at that last night. I don't know. But it's very possible. You can't rule it out. Unemployed workers could up to €450 per week in radical welfare overhaul. That's a great thing to be sending out there. Good stuff there, lads. Very, very clever there to be doing that. Benjamin put that out there as well. Ryanair pilot report UFO passed within 20 metres of plane at 4,000 feet height. Other pilots have also reported seeing unidentified flying objects. So this was from a couple of, probably about 10 days ago. And that's what they wanted to do. Release the alien stories to stop them from questioning the agenda. It's not working. Not working at all, guys. We got Mary Lou there as well, too. Clouds gathering. Phil Hogan warns of recession and says more competition for mortgages needed in the Irish market. Hard to believe what these people go away with, isn't it? Like that's how would you need more competition for mortgages? That's just going to push the money that you have to spend on a mortgage way up, and indeed then keep you enslaved to that mortgage for your entire life. We're already at six-figure houses around the place here, hundreds of thousands for a house, and it's just a very average house nowadays in Dublin. Same's happening in the country as well too. Incredible stuff that these people are getting away with. Absolutely unbelievable. Independent RAE. Far right weaponising Aisling Murphy situation by peddling lies and way of conviction. But hang on here for a second. Was it not the media that spent a year then telling you a specific way what happened to this woman, and then in court then it got released? Yeah, by the way, that wasn't what happened. Like, who are you telling lies? The mainstream media can't go away fast enough, though, I said, and that's absolutely 100% stand over that there. The faster that these institutions go away, the better. And when I'm saying that, they're financially on the way out, which is good. They're trying as much as they can. The government have said, by the way, that they won't let RTE go away. Of course they won't, because how will they have any sort of propaganda then? But then you're not going to get the people that you used to. You got the 60, 70, 80-year-old dears that are out there listening to them, believing them, and that. I'm starting to not believe them as much anymore. But they're dwindling. They're going away as well too. People that are sub, I would say, 50 years of age, I ain't watching that stuff anymore. They're on the way out. Gaza conflict dominates Sinn Féin Ard Fesh. So this is something I just wanted to bring attention to as well too. Not the Irish people that dominated the Ard Fesh, no. They stood up and spouted an awful lot of stuff there rather than talk about what's going on here in our country. If that's not a symbol of showing you a weakness, I don't know what it is. The buttons are just hanging on there for dear life. Do you see them? Unbelievable. We've got this world's first chimera monkey created by Chinese scientists in stem cell breakthrough. Oh, that's great. Yeah, the Chinese, by the way, as well too, did you see the Americans rolled out the red carpet for the Chinese fella? The fella that's leading the place, Xi Jinping, there last week. Did they not create and release the sniffles? No. They're rolling out the red carpet for him. That's very strange, isn't it? Any repercussions for that? Nah. Dublin protests end, enhanced security still in place. So this is what they were very interested in. A protest at Leinster House in Dublin has concluded, but barriers remain in place in the area and traffic disruption continues. Barriers, again, are a tactic to try and demonize these people that are at these protests, and also then they are a tactic then to essentially then, in my opinion, try to intimidate people. And there's absolutely no need for that. There's no need for that sort of way of going on. And whoever's greenlighting that and standing over that needs to go. They absolutely need to go. They need to be arrested. And a lot of this stuff, to be quite honest with you, in this country would be absolutely sorted if the Gardaí just arrested the government. The fact that they don't, and the fact that they do ludicrous things, like, I mean, what else can I say? What else can I say when I say that? Because to me, it's very simple. You've got people out there like Drew Harris that you have a 98.7% no confidence vote in. He should be gone. How is he still in that position? And why are you still following orders from this guy? And you'll say, oh no, I'm not following orders from him. I'm following orders from the fella that's just above me. Yeah, but he's following orders from your man. He's following orders from Drew Harris. He's following orders from the likes of Helen McEntee. It's all a vicious circle. Like, you know the game that's being played here. But why do it? Why do what you did last night? You know what I'm saying? Just makes no sense. But when these things make no sense, that's when you got to keep the eye on what's happening and seeing what they're trying to do. And again, Leo Varadkar, only 24 hours later down is telling you that, oh yeah, we need to put more restrictions on people's freedoms. That'll work out. Never in history did that work out. What you're seeing in real time is what's akin to the fall of the Roman Empire in real time. That's what you're seeing right now. And it's on the way out. It's done. It's finished. And to be quite honest with you, we're living in interesting times. There's some people that are out there, and I know people out there feel strongly about this. They fear, and they say, well, what would we do without these people? Listen, I think we could live in a very good country with very good people, as we do, without these politicians. I think these politicians absolutely must go on the next election. And if they don't, I think what needs to be happening before then is they must be arrested. It's simple. Now, what's interesting, I'm just at the scene there, it's a bit of a breaking news situation here. Conor McGregor is tweeting out there saying that he's going to make a plan of action and he's going to do something about it. Now, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know whether that's a run now for Odysee and Gettr, because, as you know, the president holds an awful lot of power here in this country. So I don't know whether that's what he's doing or whether it's going to go on from there and whether he's going to form a political party or what. But to me, I would hope to see that he backs the likes of Ireland first. I think that's the way to go. Derek Lloyd has been doing a great job. And to me, like I said, you might not agree and you might not support him. Fair enough, like that. I'm just giving my opinion. That's just all I do on this channel. But you've got someone out there that's hard working, that's just a layman. And to me, that would be a better option than what you're currently seeing. Gavin Pepper, to me, would be a better option than what you're currently seeing. Philip Dwyer, if he decides to run, will be a better option than what you're currently seeing. Big shout out to Philip Dwyer, by the way. Philip Dwyer was on live stream last night, and it was harrowing to witness a guard approach him and start to draw a baton and assault, in my humble opinion, Philip on stream. It was horrific. Absolutely horrific. Where's that energy for the criminals running around the country? Where's that energy for the borders? You're seeing people, there's had to been a video that got released there tonight of a homeless fella and the Gardaí going in trying to bully him. And you're looking at it and you're looking at them and going like, why? And not only that then, where's that bravery when it comes to these people doing all sorts running around our country, and why aren't you out at the borders to protect them? Madness. So let's jump into the comments here, because we're just finishing up now. I wanted to keep this one a little bit short and sweet as well too, to keep people interested obviously as well too, and kind of get to the crux of what's going on. Steve Dixon says, why would they leave the cop cars unmanned? That's the first thing I thought of. Lol. Yep, me and you both. Same plays that they make in America. That's what they do over there too. Have a look there. Sheepdogs, remember McEntee was probably a BLM Ninja Night, and we all know how that developed. But yes, she's the Minister for Justice in Ireland. For sure. Absolutely. Mr. McDonald says, you've gone public, me boy. Much appreciated for that one. Frank Barnes says that Electoral Commission can decide what the truth is and who can run an election, and what will happen in the general election. They'll decide who can't vote for. Derek Mann says adult pretenders, as Gary Neurotic would say. Hooper says, let's be blunt here, Western European governments dislike white people. Steady Eddie says, fly the flag, people, bless be, speed and lie. Absolutely. Baycal says, and a lot of bins left around and are not collection day. Seen all this before. Yep. Sure. Thanks, and Scholars in here. It says, hi, folks. Hope everyone is staying sane in this crazy country. Smashing the like says, I love the way they leave vans hanging around. Haha. Ellie Green says, I doubt we'll ever find out who the alleged victims were. Strange. Yeah. Well, look, we'll wait and see. Jason Murphy says, politics is show business for ugly people. I'd agree with that one. I would there for sure. People let me know there. Armchair Limerick Nationals says, yeah, about there was a GoFundMe set up there for the carer there that was forced on the scene. By the way, a lot of people messaging me there as well too. Much appreciated to let me know that the stream is going on. I did let people know that I would be a couple of minutes just to get myself back in. The win time says, well, Ninja Knight, you've earned yourself a sub for me. Pretty interesting so far. Thanks very much. Steve Dixon making jokes at my expense. I'm shocked. Absolutely shocked here. Back next Friday, by the way, as well, too, 8 o'clock Irish time. Just to let you know. Eric Mann says the accent thing is true. Already happened to me in Dublin 2 years ago. Got a lot of new people in here for tonight as well too. Tanya McMahonis is ordering for the Irish. Absolutely. Peter Madden, independent TD, candidate for North Tip, says you're a tonic ninja as usual. Delighted you're back in action. Look forward to your brilliant show every Friday. You nail it every time. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for the kind words. James McGrath says they're definitely the weakest foe we have ever faced throughout Irish history. We can't offend. Yeah, I agree with you on that one there. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Wizlacom says that Slovakian man wasn't actually Slovakian. He has a Slovakian passport, but he isn't white Slavic. He is Roma with Slovakian passport, and that's it. And about Parnell Square, I was there. Yep. A lot of rumors going around about Postcard. I'm not sure whether that's confirmed. Is that officially confirmed or what's the story? The media do love to do that, though. They like to say from somewhere specifically, and then it's like, well, they're not actually. Keep going here now as well, too. Through the chat. Having a great time here now tonight there. Andrew John says, Ninja, did you see the video of the new 7 Dutch farmer MPs arriving at the Parliament this morning at 7 tractors? No, I didn't say that at all, no. I didn't say that at all. Farmers, Ireland forced Micah 100% redressing Freedom Party will be the next government here. Be interesting to see as well, too. I mean, a lot of people are making the same sort of stuff there. Just had to say a funny comment there. A lot of people are out there saying the same thing. Like, they're like, well, the voting was going to change anything, they'd make it illegal. And it's like, well, you do have a good shout about that one now for sure. Kobe One says salty is the nuts. UK Salty Army. Good to see you here. Good to see you. Salty on Rumble at midnight. Probably tune into that as well to see what's going on. I hope he picks up the story about what's going on in Ireland as well too. I did message on Twitter, but I don't think he got through onto that. Manuel Godson as well too, talking about there. He's talking about the people that were at the protest yesterday. He's saying on Gerard Murphy's stream, there's people talking ish about him and his paintings. Shocked to hear that, I am. Absolutely shocked. Irish Warrior says, how dare what Leo Varga came out and said. Yeah, I'm Justin Dodal, just no problem. Gives the Count Corla a bit of a nod as well too. Just letting you know there, guy, we want to replace you. But look, just laugh and smile. Just laugh and smile. Irish Warrior says, I'm going for councillor for the Nationalist Party in my area or independent. Fair play. 100%. The more people that get involved, the better. For sure. Obi-Wan says, I wonder if the Katie Taylor fight will still go ahead. Perfect red flag opportunity. Yeah, there's lots of lefties that were at that now last night. They were like, perfect time to say things to Conor McGregor at that event, isn't it? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Hugh says, thanks for the time and effort, Ninja. Much appreciated. No, I appreciate everybody that's here listening. Russian Bot says, Salty is best to do a live stream only after Ninja. Yeah, he's on 12:30 tonight now, I think, as well. Usual time, which is good. Hey, Ninja, a bit unrelated, but what do you think about the story has been released next year? That's another weird story. Another strange story. Would never wrap my head around that one. Irish Warrior says, if you all stand up there, finished the show last night. Definitely. Kobe One says, Salty did a video on the trouble in area today. Did he? I must have missed that. I'll have to check it out. Oh, fair play to him. This stuff has gone international then. That's good. Fella has a huge support and a huge amount of people that are behind him, and that'll only get picked up by other places. I mean, the Enoch Book thing is still rolling on as well too. Enoch Book is still in jail. Like, how is Enoch Book still in jail? You know what I'm saying? Jerome Reedy says to me, Salty doing a show about Dublin. I'll have to get on that. And see what was said, because that's absolutely phenomenal. It is. And again, like, it's sometimes, again, American politics, they view what's going on here. They've been through it, particularly himself. He knows exactly what's going on, and he can see it, and he can say the same things, or not indeed the same things, but maybe he might say, well, look, this is the same sort of hallmarks that we're seeing here as well. And again, I think the same thing happens. I don't think the likes of yesterday, you see those fellas that are along there yesterday, I don't think that that's in the minds of people here in Ireland there, and especially that's not ever happened at a protest before where there's looting going on. That's not people that's run up to these things. That's not representative of it. People have been protesting for a very long time in this country, and they've been on the side of what's right. And then all of that stuff, the chaos that goes on last night, very, very strange and very odd to me as well too, that these people are all prepared for that sort of stuff then. You know, it seems like things were going on fairly quickly and moving, to the likes of 400, to the tune of what they're saying now, to the tune of 400 Gardaí were bust up from everywhere around the place into Dublin. Like, how? And then you go out then today and admit then, we lost a bit of the run of the place. Okay? And what's the reaction? Well, we're going to just introduce hate speech now. It's what they want to do. Dark Man says, has always been singing, says, saw that as much appreciated. Philip Dwyer's great. He interviewed me once. Philip Dwyer's doing amazing stuff there. We Got a Problem channel did a video on it too. You see, everyone's talking about it now, which is a good thing. And it's like I said, you see what's happening in Spain. 20 days now they're out there, not mentioned, not a lick of a mention in the media at all. Yesterday mentioned, but what the media are trying to do is they're trying to cover it and say, well, forget about the incident and let's just focus on the issue that happened after the fact. And the fact that all these people were mobilized after that then to be talking and spouting nonsense on Twitter and then spouting it then today then in terms of politicians and political sphere lets you know everything that you need to know, in my humble opinion. So anyway, guys, that's tonight's stream. Thanks very much for jumping in here tonight. I really appreciate you. And I have to be honest with you, I think last night was a turning point here in Ireland. I think a lot of people now are going to look at that and they're going to say, well, yesterday was a horrific situation and a horrific thing that has happened, and this cannot happen again. And the fact that the government and the media are more interested in a few cars being set alight and a few shops with a few less windows nowadays and a few less pairs of Air Max and Adidas and Puma runners kind of says it all, doesn't it? It shows you where their priorities lie. Their priorities lie with these corporations that have told you that you're nothing on the heel of their shoe, and these politicians have done so also. To me, I think the way to channel this energy as well too is for people to gather together and to form, whether it be an independent person that's going to run for election. I know, again, like I said earlier on, a lot of people question those things, and I agree. I think if that did anything, I think they probably would try and make it illegal. But the fact of the matter is now is that if you can absolutely swamp them, which is what's currently happening on social media with the responses they're getting, if you can swamp them, like I showed you up above there, 8 counts, 9 counts, 5th counts, 6 counts with someone that's going to romp home, well then to me that's going to be very difficult then for them to be able to take that power away from that person or people. And I think that's the way to go. I think people need to be standing up now and need to be standing and going forward for elections and need to take the seats off these people and indeed run them as close as possible, because I think that would be another feather in the cap as to what's going on. And again, like I said beforehand, and I'll say it again to the new people that are here, if you have people that are here and are going to go for those types of elections, I think to me it would gather a response of hundreds, maybe thousands of people, and then you can just point and go, they're not getting that support over there. People are very much so aware of Sinn Féin now. They're very much so aware of every party that's out there. And I think now's the time for it to be taken and said, right, we're going to move with the ball, we're going to go forward, and we're going to take the country from a political sense, and we're going to steer it in the right direction, because the current direction that it's been steered in is right into the wall. That's how I feel. Chris Quirk says, be aware of your surroundings. Never Fields, what's that there? Sound for the stream. Ninja says, Armchair Limerick Nationalists, welcome back. Thanks very much. Sorry, I just missed Chris's statement there. Be aware of your surroundings. Never thought it's set up, but stay safe everywhere. Absolutely 100%. Clep Owen says, Ninja Night, thank you. Getting troops out there. God bless. Much appreciated. We've got Leanne Curtis in here as well, too. That says, Go Red Motto Gut, Ninja Night. August Cock Dinner, thanks for being here. Much love to you all. And Ireland with a green heart there as well. Great channel, guys. First time here. Peace to you all, guys, around across the sea. Strength in numbers. There's more of us than there is of them. 100% firmly believe that. Absolutely believe that I do. So yeah, protest on tomorrow as far as I know. I don't know what the story is there. Ellie Green says, stay safe in the Gardaí, everyone. Good night. And thanks, Ninja. Much appreciated about that one there. So I'm sure that there'll be a lot of stuff on socials about protests if it's upcoming or if it's going to happen. So keep your eyes glued to those. And again, be safe. Keep an eye on what's going on. Anybody up to nonsense like the lads showed there earlier on, call them out. Say none of that here. We're here to be protesting for Ireland, for the Irish people, and for our kids and our kids' future. That's the whole thing that people are doing now. They have finally awoken, and it's not going to be anytime soon that these people are going to be put back to sleep. So best of luck to everyone that's out there. And I firmly believe that this is now a movement that is going to gather steam. And I think now we're at a point in time where we might very well see people taking charge of this country that should be in charge. And these people that have done nothing but disrespect you and put your livelihoods, and the future under threat. I think hopefully this could be the beginning of the end for them, and that they will eventually be jailed. And I think that that's absolutely what should be happening from here on out. Best of luck. Look after yourselves. Look.